I stumbled upon the candy by accident. It was a Tuesday evening, and I'd been doom scrolling through TikTok, as one does when the hours grow thin and sleep feels like a distant thought. Among the usual dance routines and skincare hacks, a video popped up with an eerie caption: "This candy will change your life, but don't eat more than one." The video showed a woman unwrapping a small, brightly colored candy. She popped it in her mouth, chewed thoughtfully, and then froze. Her pupils dilated, her jaw slackened, and her head tilted back in what could only be described as pure euphoria. She whispered one word before the video cut to black: "Sweet." That was enough to hook me. The comments were a mixed bag. Some swore the candy was life-changing, while others warned of headaches, insomnia, and stranger side effects. But the consensus was clear. Everyone who had tried it couldn't stop talking about it. They called it Lume. I did some digging and discovered Lume wasn't sold in stores. It was a limited edition product from an obscure company based overseas. No website, no official branding. You had to order it through a private link shared among those in the know. Against my better judgment, I clicked the link and placed an order. It cost more than I'd like to admit, but curiosity outweighed my common sense. 3 days later, a nondescript black envelope arrived at my doorstep. No return address. Inside was a small, vacuum-sealed bag containing 5 candies, each wrapped in shimmering foil that seemed to shift colors under the light. The packaging smelled faintly of citrus and something else. Something metallic. I wasn't sure what I expected. Maybe a burst of intense flavor, a sugar high that would last for hours, or even nothing at all. What I got was different. The first candy tasted like every memory of happiness I'd ever had condensed into a single bite. Childhood summers. My first kiss. The smell of rain on a warm night. It was all there. A cascade of emotions so vivid it made my head spin. For a moment, I forgot where I was. When I came back to myself, the room seemed sharper, more vivid. The air buzzed with an electric hum, and colors seemed to glow faintly, as if the world had been upgraded to high definition. It was intoxicating. But then, something strange happened. That night, as I lay in bed, my dreams took a dark turn. I was walking down a street I didn't recognize, but everything felt oddly familiar. The buildings loomed taller than they should, their windows staring down like unblinking eyes. A low, melodic hum filled the air, a sound I realized matched the buzzing I'd felt earlier. When I woke up, my chest ached like I'd been running for hours, and my hands wouldn't stop trembling. Still, I couldn't stop thinking about that candy. I told myself I'd wait a few days before trying another, but the craving was insatiable. By the next evening, I unwrapped a second Lume and popped it into my mouth. This time, the taste was different but equally euphoric. Like the warmth of a fire on a snowy night or the thrill of finishing a daunting task. The side effects, however, were worse. My dreams were sharper now, more vivid. I wasn't just walking through strange streets. I was being followed. The hum was louder, and I could swear I heard whispers woven into the melody, speaking a language I didn't understand. I should have stopped then, but I couldn't. By the third candy, the world around me started to change. It wasn't just the dreams anymore. During the day, I'd catch glimpses of things in my peripheral vision. Shadows that didn't belong. Shapes that flickered and vanished when I turned to look. My reflection in the mirror seemed wrong. Not dramatically so, but off in subtle, unsettling ways. My smile lingered too long. My eyes seemed to move just a fraction of a second slower than the rest of my face. I reached out to others who'd tried Lume, desperate for answers. The TikTokers who had raved about it were silent now. Accounts deleted or inactive. I found a private forum where users shared their experiences. And the stories were disturbingly similar. Euphoria followed by insomnia. Vivid dreams that became nightmares. Whispers. Shadows. One user claimed to have tracked down the company behind Lume. According to them, it wasn't a candy at all. It was an experiment. A product designed to enhance human perception. They posted a warning in bold, desperate text. If you've eaten more than 2, it's already too late. I tried to stop. I really did. But by then, the cravings weren't just in my mind. They were in my body. My veins buzzed with that same electric hum. And my teeth ached for the taste of that impossible sweetness. The fourth candy was inevitable. This time, the taste was bitter, acrid. It burned as it dissolved on my tongue. And I felt something shift inside me. My vision blurred, then sharpened to an unnatural degree. I could see the fibers in the carpet, the individual threads of my clothing. But it wasn't just sight. My hearing picked up faint murmurs from rooms away. And the hum I'd been feeling wasn't coming from the world around me. It was coming from inside me. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt as though I was being pulled somewhere, dragged into a dark, endless void where the whispers grew louder. By the fifth candy, I wasn't eating it out of curiosity or even addiction. I was eating it because I needed answers. The final taste was nothing. Not sweet, not bitter, not sour, just absence. As if the candy itself had consumed me instead. The world didn't look sharper this time. It looked wrong. The colors were too bright, the edges too jagged. People's faces warped when they spoke, their mouths stretching impossibly wide. The shadows weren't just flickering anymore. They were moving, creeping closer, their whispers growing louder until they drowned out everything else. And then, I understood. Lume wasn't just a candy. It wasn't an experiment. It was a doorway. I'm not sure where I am now. The world outside my window looks familiar. But it's not the same. The shadows are everywhere. Their whispers constant. I don't know if they're watching me or if I've become one of them. But I'll tell you this. If you ever see a brightly colored candy wrapped in shimmering foil, no matter how curious you are, no matter how sweet it promises to be, don't eat it. Some doors aren't meant to be opened.